Hi everyone and welcome to Unit Review. We're your hosts Jack
and Dan.
And today we're going to be looking at the Ophydian Destroyer of the Necron army.
Yeah, fantastic unit. It's much more than its stat block and it's been taken in a lot of lists. There's a very good reason for this, which we'll come on to. But first of all, I'll dive into the
stat block. Let's go, Dan.
So even though I've just said it's more than its stat block, it's important to go through this. It does have a move of 10 inches, which is rapid for Necrons. It's great. It's got a toughness of 5. It's got a 4-up save, 3 wounds each, a leadership of 7+, and an OC of 2.
Yeah. So it's that armor save that really kind of does it for me. That's the biggest downfall. But the rest of it, I think, for a Necron unit, that is a solid stat.
It's pretty decent.
Very good.
What about unit composition, mate?
Absolutely. So you can take them in squads of 3, which are 80 points, or you can take them in squads of 6 for 160 points. This model is also equipped with the Ophydian Hyperphase weapons.
Yes.
It's interesting that they've obviously chosen this name now, because in the past, these Ophydian ones used to be able to take like 2 different sort of weapons.
Same as the Scorpex. You would have, for each 3 you took, you could have 2 with little blades and 1 with a big blade. But simplified, not simple, right? Which I can't complain.
Nah, it's nice to have it.
Yeah.
What about keywords then, Dan?
So they've got the Necrons keyword, as you'd expect. They are infantry. They've got the Destroyer cult keyword, which is important for one little detachment that nobody plays apart from weirdos.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
And they've also got the Ophydian Destroyers keyword.
Yeah, very nice.
This is where it starts to get a little bit more interesting. Weapons.
Yes. So big variety here, big selection. So bear with us on this one. So they have the Ophydian Hyperphase weapons, as I just said.
Yeah.
They are only melee, so no shooting capabilities. You have 5 attacks, hitting on freeze, strength 4, -2, and 2 damage.
The ubiquitous -2 damage. It
Not
seems
bad.
to be, it appears a lot in this edition, but it's because it kills Marines.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously just Marine mushers, but
Yeah.
Again, that's a little bit of kick opposed to, the other way that we're going to be playing them is much more objective and points related.
Yes, this is it. It's nice that they can do stuff, but it's not probably the main use, is it?
No, not for these points, not at all. But before we get into that, do you want to start off with the abilities, Dan?
Yeah, sure. So they've obviously got reanimation protocols, so reanimate D3 wounds in your command phase. Yeah. They've got deep strike, which is good. And on top of that, they have what is commonly known in this edition as Uppy Downy.
Yeah.
The name for these I absolutely love is called Tunneling Horrors. At the end of your opponent's turn, if this unit's not within engagement range of any enemy units, you can remove it from the battlefield in the reinforcement step of your next movement phase. It comes back again. Yeah. So take it off at the end of your opponent's turn, put it back in your reinforcements, and because it's got deep strike, you can put it back anywhere outside of 9.
Really useful. Really powerful.
So I really like that. It's also, because it's a destroyer, a melee destroyer, like the Scorpex, you get a plasma sight.
Yes.
So once per battle for each plasma sight this unit has, when this unit's selected to fight, you can use this ability. So you pop the plasma sight until the end of that phase. The melee weapons equipped by this unit have devastating wounds, which is lush. And you get 1 plasma sight per 3.
Yes.
So if you do decide to take them in a unit of 6, you get 2 plasma sights, which is quite nice.
It just makes that punch that they've got that little bit extra.
Yeah,
really good.
And it's I kind of quite like those because it's very it's kind of, it allows a dice to tell a story, because sometimes you're going to get none and sometimes it's going to really hurt.
It's going to really hurt. Yeah. And I mainly like with this unit because, again, since they're not that, I guess they're not that strong compared to the other units that we've got, and they're not that, their armor save isn't as good with the 4-up, but that's why I like these ones a little bit more, because they're going to probably get smushed. So diving them in and being able to smush the unit before you get smushed is just so much better.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's not all. We've got a few nice stratagems that we can go through.
Yeah, you picked out some good ones here.
Absolutely. So do you want to do this one, or this is a classic on our channel?
Oh yeah, we've never talked about this one before. What is it?
Never. It's Cosmic Precision. So this is 1 CP. It is in the hyper crypt. I couldn't think of the one there. Right. Hyper Crypt Legion. It, again, 1 CP. It happens in your movement phase, and basically you can deep strike this unit in. But instead of doing it the normal 9, you can deep strike them within 6 now.
Yeah, just outside of 6, which is good. Obviously it was 3 before, which is super strong. Yeah. 6 is still really good.
Oh yeah. Helps steal objectives, because again, these guys with 2 OC each. That's 6 total.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Quick math. But
well, that's it. If
really
you've got 6-inch charge to get them in and kill something and then or out OC them, then it's a nice combo, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, these next two, I've kind of driven this one because I looked at all the comments that we've got, and not a lot of people mention any stratagems out there. So I've taken the reins on this one.
Yeah, there's one detachment that's very close to your heart. And
yes, Annihilation Legion out there.
Yeah.
It's underrated. Everyone should be using it.
It's not.
It's a hill I'll die on. I don't mind it at all. But yes, so the stratagems in the Annihilation Legion, the first one is called Spore of Frailty. It is, again, 1 CP. It happens in your shooting phase or fight phase. You select one Destroyer Cult, which is one of these ones. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack that targets a unit below starting strength, you add 1 to the hit roll. If the target is below half strength, you add 1 to the wound roll as well.
Oh, that's quite nice.
I just think for 1 CP, you're getting 2 really good benefits, especially if you're just charging these guys in to take out a unit, maybe some scouts or maybe even some space marines that are below half strength. They'll pop in the plasma site. That'll just rinse through that squad.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a really good one, actually.
For 1 CP, I just think it's a steal, an absolute steal.
And when considering the role that you were talking about before, like trying to steal objectives off people, you have to more often than not, you're going to have to cut through them to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it. What about the next one?
Next one, again in the Annihilation Legion, it is Mask of Death. It is 1 CP again, happens in your shooting phase or fight phase. You obviously target 1 Destroyer Cult. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack is allocated to this unit, you subtract the hit roll of 1.
Yes, -1 to hit.
So very good to basically keep these guys alive.
Yes, they certainly need it.
Yeah, well, they do. Again, their armor save isn't amazing. So if you're behind cover, I guess you are going to be going back down to freeze, which obviously the max you can get for cover. So it's not as bad. And again, with the ability to kind of go up and down, hiding them behind like buildings and such, it's going to be relatively easy to kind of keep them alive as long as you don't overstep.
That's the only other strat. It's the generic strat, which I think you've kind of just covered, but it's rapid ingress. So there is very often an opportunity to rapid ingress these, which is the strat you spend 1 CP and you can deep strike them in your opponent's turn, and then they are set up to move and then go and do something.
Absolutely.
So you deep strike them in behind some line of sight blocking terrain, where, so they're in cover. You don't need to be right on where you want to go because you've got a 10-inch move and then you can charge afterwards. So it's a lot of
it's a handsome unit.
Yeah,
it's a handsome unit.
Good.
A lot of comments, a lot of people are saying in our, so again, thanks so much for the comments out there. But people were saying that obviously these were the ones that were originally wraiths back in the day.
Yeah, they look very similar to. I mean, you own some of the old
classic ones,
the metal
still
classic
in the blister packs that I've got.
And they do. So. The old ones have got obviously got claws. I don't know why I need to do that to demonstrate claws.
This is a claw.
Yeah, this is a claw, everybody.
It's my strong hand.
As opposed to blades, which the Ophydians have got.
I like it.
Just tried to rescue myself there, and it didn't work. Never mind. But yes, but the bodies are very similar to the old wraiths, aren't they? Was what I was trying to say.
What does the bodies look like, Dan?
Yeah, I haven't got the body to do that. Yeah.
No, I haven't got that waistline.
I look more like a Locust Heavy Destroyer. But yeah, they definitely evoke the old wraiths. Absolutely,
the classic look brings it back. Yeah, I think they're just an overall favorite in the Necron community. Everyone was saying, like, even people who don't run them, they were just saying these look amazing.
The models.
Yeah, the models look amazing.
I mean, look at them; they are really cool.
They're very Necron-y. You know, everything else obviously has like the limbs and such. These guys don't have any limbs basically. Well, they do, but they're full of knives and claws.
Yeah,
still.
That's it. They've got those lovely kind of serpentine bodies, and then loads of arms with blades on them. You couldn't ask for much more. Really,
love it. Absolutely love it.
These ones and I mean, I like the new race sculpts, but these ones in particular look. I don't know why, but they look kind of more alien to me, and I don't know why, but they feel, like you say, they feel more Necron.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and what about how to play them? I mean, lots. Again, thank you for the comments. So loads of great ideas. This is a unit I don't leave home without. I think they're fantastic value for the points.
Yeah, absolutely. I always feel 2 in my list. I'm just trying to think what the points were again on this one.
80 points for 3. Yeah,
it's just a steal for the amount of stratagems you can get. So again, for me, it's an easy peasy win. It's an easy peasy pick. 2 of them in there. they serve two roles for me. One, they screen. So backfield, I have them screening, and then basically at the end of the opponent's turn, I always bring them both off. Make it a habit, always bring them off, I would say, just because it gives you the flexibility depending on what cards you draw, because you've got to bring them off before you draw your cards.
Yes.
That's really important.
A good habit to get into, because it's easy to forget in the heat of the battle.
Yeah.
A good habit I try and get into is informing my opponent at the beginning of the game, I'll be taking these off at the end of your turn, every turn, unless I say otherwise.
Good.
And then it keeps us both honest.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah,
and then there's no gotcha moments.
It's very true, and it also means that if you forget to do it, at least your opponent has been verbally told. So
yes,
very good.
So if your opponent's a good sportsman, they'll
good tip. Yeah. So basically the reason why I like doing that for is because again, depending on what cards you bring, turn one or something like that, turn two, if you get cleanse or sabotage or containment, something that requires your army to get to a certain position, these units are ideal because they can squeeze in pretty much anywhere to get wherever you need to go. The enemy lines turn 3 onwards.
Established locust, all that kind of stuff.
Locust, absolutely fantastic stuff. And let's say you don't draw them cards. Let's say you get no prisoners in defend stronghold, something like that. Then it's easy peasy. Be like, all right, cool. Well, tell you what, they're just going to go back to screening. Yeah. Because then I'm protecting my defend strongholds, and I'm just keeping my back line safe. And then again, it's or on the flip side, if you do all those easy peasy secondaries with those guys first, let's say they're all done by turn 3, well, you got 2 options. 1, run them into engagement and try and take out some units, or 2, bring back and defend your backline again.
Yes, or I do like them as a cheap threat late game to try and steal your opponent's objective, just to put some pressure on their backfield.
Oh yeah.
But I think the screening your backfield is so big in this edition because deep strike's so important. Yeah. And then just having them sit there, and because for my game, and I think yours is probably similar, is these are for me are mid to late game secondary scorers. Oh, yeah. My turn 1, turn 2 is probably things like for you it'd be flayed ones, because it's always flayed ones. Yeah. Or a Triarch Stalker, those units that are going to go and sit on those edges or in the middle and score you establish locus or area denial or cleanse or containment, all of those. And if they don't come up early, those units have probably been traded through. Exactly. These guys are there ready to go. Just turn 3.
Put me in, boss.
Yeah, put me in.
Tag me in. I'm ready to go. Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right, because again, for 80 points as well, you don't really, in the nice way possible, little guys, but you don't really care if they get loose. If they score you 5 or 10 points in a game, that's a massive conversion rate. Yes, for points for points.
And if your opponent takes the bait of your flayed ones, for example, and they commit something like 10 assault intercessors to kill 5 flayed ones, then you rapid ingress these guys in that turn, and then go and 3 of them will put some hurt on. Yeah, they might not wipe a full squad of 10, but they'll put some hurt.
I mean, 5 attacks each, looking handsome, plus 1 to hit as well. If you
that kind of trading, it depends on what your opponent does, but you've got that in your pockets. If you need to, you can commit them and go and kill something. So good. But generally speaking, you should have other assets probably to do that. It's the secondary scoring. Uppy Downy is such a valuable ability in this edition, because there's so many cards that you need.
There's so many cards that require movement, and then with the Uppy Downy just completely voids that, which is great. So, really good unit.
And Necrons are not the most mobile unless you're playing Hypercrypt, but even then it's been restricted a little bit. I mean, these weren't getting played in Hypercrypt, but interestingly in the comments people are saying they are now, because they've obviously cut how many units you can put into hyperphase.
So this kind of makes up for that.
Yeah, it's just like a free unit, isn't it, to do it?
Definitely. So if you're not bringing them, or if you're not using them, why?
Why?
These guys are so good.
If you should probably say, if you haven't picked up, we're not running them in units of 6, and I don't know anybody that does. If you are, we're really interested to hear how you use them. Let us know in the comments. But from what the best way to use them is in 3s, because they're easier to hide, and they're just a good cheap secondary scoring piece.
Super easy. Super easy.
What about how to get rid of them?
We've kind of briefed on a touch on it before, but again, these guys aren't tough. They're not the biggest, not the baddest ones out there. So for me, it's all about timing. If I was versing these guys, I know I have to take them out as and when the opportunity arises, because again, if you don't take them out early, they're going to just run away with points. So easy to get away with them. If you're in a perfect position, they're just going to go away next turn. So if you have the opportunity to shoot at them, regardless of what it is, bolters will do it, big guns will do it, anything will really do it against these guys, because again, even no AP, you're still saving on 4s. So the chances to get these down is really high. So basically, if you have the opportunity to shoot at these, take them out.
Yeah, they're not. They will, and similarly, if 10 assault intercessors, or probably even 5, if 5 assault intercessors get the drop on them, they might do the job.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
not designed to be. They're one of the few Necron units that are fragile. So yeah, they will go down.
Because basically, if I bring these on my list, I don't have any real other movement shenanigans going on. It's really just these guys if I bring these. So if you take these out, you would kind of cripple me and probably the majority of Necron players. I don't think they'll bring many more uppy downy stuff apart from the Hex Mark.
Yeah. I mean, the Hex. I mean, Hex Mark's got deep strike. Your Death Marks have got deep strike, but once they're down, unless you're playing Hypercrypt. And these are the only uppy downies outside of Hypercrypt.
Yeah.
But it's a very powerful ability. So the quicker you can stop them scoring points, the better.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
And
that's it.
And you don't have to overcommit to massive amounts of firepower or melee to do it. They will die.
Unfortunately, they will go down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the caveat to that is the same as any other Necron unit: is you have to kill them because otherwise they will reanimate.
That's the other thing. Yeah. And again, if they've got the uppy downy, if you kill 2 and you don't want to finish off the last one, well, they're just going to teleport away.
Yeah,
take 1 or 2 turns to fully heal up and then come back out again. Yeah. It's like, no.
But also, sometimes it works in our favor. Like if my opponent kills 2 of them, I've got 1 left. It's easy to hide.
Yeah.
It's easy to deep strike.
I'm not going to react. I'm not going to react. I'm just going to have 1. Probably worth mentioning as well, this is a token. This isn't part of the unit. So you can't, whenever your opponent's targeting the unit, they can't target this fella. He's just a token.
Yes, so in 9th and I think 8th as well, but in previous editions anyway, the plasma sight was a separate model that attached to the unit.
Correct.
And it could be interacted with.
Yes.
But it's now just there for visual representation.
Exactly.
Just to remind you, when you've used it, you obviously take it away.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
It is perfect. Well, I think that's it for the unit, right?
Yes, we do have. Before you go, thank you for staying with us. We've got some big news as well, though.
Ooh, big news.
Yes.
Exciting times. Taking the next step.
Yes, we finally got our act together. We have launched our Patreon and
Discord.
Yep, Discord.
So basically Discord's going to be primarily where we basically just try and communicate with everyone out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll be sticking to social medias like Facebook, Instagram.
We'll still be on the socials, but we feel like we've been building a lovely little corner of the community. So thank you guys. So we just created a Discord to do that. There's a Patreon there if you'd like to support the channel's next phase of growth. You need to buy some new equipment. And also, if you're not on Patreon, we've also created YouTube membership.
Yeah, YouTube membership as well. So you get the same benefits on either or. So if you prefer one or the other, you have the option.
Yeah, don't do both. as much as we'd like it, don't do both.
Yeah, don't do both.
But yes, and we'll look forward to seeing you all in the Discord. We'll put links in the description. In the meantime, there's loads of you again that contributed your wisdom to this discussion. We had some really interesting insights, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Jack will magically make your names appear on the screen now.
Ooh, beautiful. But a part of the Patreon as well, we're going to be doing what's called a hobby hangout sort of video in the future, where we'll basically on our Discord, go through the pictures that everyone's posted, comments, anything that's basically on there, and just kind of engage, really. Just get your feedback, see what you want, see what's going on in your hobby, and we'll talk about our hobby. Yeah, we're always blown away by the level of ability in the community. Like some of you guys, are doing an incredible job of painting your Necrons. And for those of like me who aren't incredible painters, it'd be nice to build a little painting community there to help each other out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But anyway, I could talk about this all day. Now's not the time. But thank you very much for joining us. Yeah. And we'll be back soon with another unit review. Thank you.